This is my own personal recipe of the liver pate, and kind of off a little bit of my mom's recipe and mine. As you can see, we have some onion here, red pepper, I guess about 6 cloves of garlic, about 3 pounds of calf liver. Got some Italian seasoning, ground cinnamon, chili powder, ground cloves, paprika, a little bit of instant coffee, kosher salt, garlic powder, crushed pepper, red pepper that is, and then regular pepper, and then Dijon mustard, a little glass of wine, we don't want to get too excessive, and some port. Our utensils that we'll be using today are a deep dish pan and David's favorite Star Wars emulsifier. Ladies and gentlemen, the next step is cutting some onions. It doesn't have to be finely chopped, just rough chop onions and some garlic and some red pepper, and of course I forgot the other ingredient, salted butter, so that's also going into the pate. Anyway, I'll be cutting all this up into fine pieces so that it cooks really easily, and away we go. Butter in the pan with a little bit of oil, and we're going to start sauteing the vegetables to get them kind of caramelized. Can you believe it? I almost forgot the bacon. One of the most important ingredients of the whole darn thing, so I'm throwing that in now. Okay, as you can see, I spared you the cutting up of the liver, so it's just into fairly small chunks. And then of course you can see that we're well on our way with the medley here. So lots of butter, lots of oil. Now we're just going to give it a little stir, get that going nicely, and let it do its thing. So, and there you go. So you can see that I've put some spices in there. The ratios are the secret, ladies and gentlemen, so that's going to be kept to myself. But as you can see, a lot of the spices are in, with the exception of the kosher salt, because we don't want to put the salt in till later for flavoring, and the Dijon and the port and the wine. And oh, by the way, there's a little bit of balsamic vinegar in there as well. Anyway, so there you go. Okay, I know this is strange, but I put the liver in, but I don't really want it to brown. I kind of want it to cook slightly through, but not to overcook the liver. So now I'm going to be adding all the port, the wine, the secret ingredient, balsamic vinegar, and here you go. So that's going into the mixture. So now we're just going to put a pan over that and just let it kind of go, like the consistency, I don't know how to explain it. It almost looks like kind of a beigey color. It doesn't really brown, you know. So that's what you're going for, because you don't want it to brown. You want it to just cook through, but not overcook. So that's my best explanation. And you have to just kind of watch the pan here, man, and that's it. Okay, as you can see, I moved the food, or the meat and the vegetables, all around the corners, and just letting the sauce render down a little bit so the meat doesn't overcook. So now we've got a little bit of bubble going on in the middle, and that's going to render down a little bit, and then we'll put the secret ingredient in, and then we'll emulsify it, and then put it into terrains, like into a rectangle greased containers, and then we'll put it in the fridge or the freezer for a little bit and let it solidify, and then we'll put some on the cracker and try it. But here you go. Well, This is the emulsifier. I'm not going to actually do this in front of you because I need 2 hands, as I'm going to have to put some type of screen so it doesn't mess up the stove. So just to give you a little hint of what you're to expect, is it's kind of like that, and I'm already getting sprayed. So here we go. So there you go. Okay, so then you can kind of see the consistency of where it's going. Anyway, that's about it. Okay, so what I did is I greased I guess it's like a banana loaf pan and a little, what's that? Loaf pan and a little bit of little baby loaf pans, and I greased them all up with some Pam. Anyway, that's about it. Okay, as you can see, we've got a nice smooth consistency here, and I've salt and peppered it to taste. Actually, my wife salted and peppered it for me because her palate is really good, and the combination of both our palates will end up with a good result. So if you have that second person around, I would suggest you ask another individual because every palate is a little different. So here you go. Yep. So here we got some leftovers. I'm going to make some little loaf pans. So this recipe has been dedicated to my late brother, Louis Marlowe, who I love dearly and consider a very good friend. And also for my nephew, David Bonin, and Victor, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, who I dearly love. Okay, adios amigos, and we're going to try to taste a little bit later.